Hi everyone, Michele Courage here from michelecourage.com, coming to you from the Galactic Studio on a Friday. Wow, I've just got back from a trip to Auckland. We went over to see Cowboy Junkies as a family. We've been following, or I have been following the Cowboy Junkies, a Canadian band with a unique sound for probably over 30 years now. Introduced it to my husband, and then obviously my daughter got to listen, and we as a family went to go see them perform at the town hall in Auckland, which was fabulous. Auckland, and I have a sort of I like Auckland, but I do need short trips in the cities. The weather's slightly better than Wellington, and it was glorious when I was there. If you have a look at some of my social media posts, you'll see that I took a walk, basically walked back. I took an Uber to Ponsonby and then walked back from Ponsonby to my hotel in the central city, which was a hell of a long walk, but it was so rewarding. There was such beautiful little houses that I walked down through Ponsonby. I think that's the street that they light up with all the lights for Christmas, and beautiful and little cottages. They're quite old, and one or two of the little gardens outside, cottage gardens, were just gorgeous. One of the houses had the pavement. They'd dug up the pavement and put in a whole bunch of beautiful flowers, a wildflower sort of mix, and it was inspiring, really truly inspiring. So that was great. And arrived back to Hawke's Bay yesterday afternoon. The lady who looked after my after Riverstones had an absolute ball with the chickens and the animals and stuff. Juno, my little dog, wasn't too happy about the fact that I wasn't here for 2 nights, and apparently sat on the couch watching the gate all day long. Anyway, so yeah, that was really fascinating for me too, because when I tuned in when I was in Auckland, I tuned into Juno and definitely felt her missing me really badly. I could feel that sort of where's my mom kind of story, and I was missing her as well. So there's a huge bond between us. And my guides told me when I was looking for a dog that was going to come in, they said that she was going to be sort of like my little angelic energy, and give me so much love and so much unconditional love. So yeah, that is proving to be true. Although, like I said, when I leave, she's pretty attached, which is not always a good thing. But it is what it is, and we're back. She's lying at my feet here on her bed, happy as Larry, and even went for a car ride this morning because I had to go and buy milk, and at the organic shop up the road, and the dogs had a car ride, so they were very happy. So that is what I've been up to. I am busy, really excited about working on some boutique art retreats next year. I've set 2 dates in mind for March and May. Here at Riverstones, it'll be a full weekend, sleeping 4 people, 2 in a bedroom, twin bed sharing, and really affordable art immersion, art bespoke, sacred art retreat. And if anybody has known about my work in Wellington and has attended some of my art workshops, they will be, or even my lessons that I used to give, and classes, I think they'll be very excited to know that there are some art retreats coming up next year. So art. My guides have been on at me to paint, And with that in mind, I'm definitely starting to think about the fact that maybe Fridays I may just be open by appointment, and that in the future the gallery will only be, or the studio will only be open by appointment. Or if the flag is outside and it's open, yeah, you will just need to send me a message saying, hey, are you there? We're popping out. I think that's going to work better for me. I tend to not get into anything deep because I'm aware of the fact that people may drop in and disturb me in my meditative way of when I paint. So yeah, you know, it's a learning trial by error. I'll still be open the last Sunday of every month. And you can also see me in November at the Waipukurau Wellness Festival. It's a wellness fair at Waipukurau. It is a very well-known fair, and it's over 2 days. I think it's the 22nd and 23rd. It's a Saturday and Sunday of November. I'll be there with my artworks, with my prints available. And yeah, it'd be lovely for you to pop in and say hi. I'm even going to think I'm going to have some plants. My guides are asking me to get into a little bit of edible plants and start really working with more in the plant kingdom. And I'm excited for that, you know, to go deeper into that. I'm obviously obsessed with my garden and loving my garden journey. And but yeah, definitely I've been called to go more plant-based for many years now. And in the last 2-3 weeks, I've kind of really started embracing this. I think the energies have shifted and are helping me in this regard. I also am sitting in front of my Galactic Ganesha painting quite a bit and asking for the insight and the obstacles to be removed from my path. And it was so interesting when we were up in Auckland, my hubby took me up to it's a restaurant called Queen's, and it is a rooftop bar on the top of the waterfront, Auckland, looking out over Devonport and the harbour and everything. Spectacular. It was still daylight, obviously. I think it must be quite spectacular at night. And we had the most fabulous meals. We ordered sort of 2 sort of starter kind of meals and then shared that, and then sort of, you know, relaxed a little bit more and then ordered another one. And the first one that we ordered was a Caesar, a Queen's Caesar. So the idea of a Caesar salad, but oh my word, it was cos lettuce with the most divine sauce, and it had Parma ham in it, and it had this Scotch egg done, a really sort of like a oval shaped Scotch egg, quite a substantial sort of avocado size. And so we each had one of those, and we had some olives as well, and then we ordered some as calamari as well. Oh my, it was squid, and oh my word, it was delicious. It was lovely. And then I think for our second we ordered a meat dish which and was done with potato, or no, not potato, sweet potato, roasted sweet potato salad, and again the most beautiful pureed base of what it was on, really beautifully presented, very bougie. And you know, it's so funny, when I was younger I used to feel so uncomfortable sitting in a place like that, but now I don't really feel that uncomfortable anymore. I kind of go, well, you know, I just enjoy it. And I happened to look down at my jeans and they had paint on them. I had taken the paint jeans to Auckland, so sitting in the bougie place in Auckland with my paint spattered jeans. Anyway, life of an artist. And my poor husband, who works in IT and clearly has to tolerate his artistic wife. But yes, was lovely being inspired again by the fresh food that is beautifully prepared. And I think, you know, a lot of the food in Hawke's Bay is beautifully grown and then probably exported to Auckland. So yeah, I really had a lovely time there. When I went to Ponsonby, I stopped and had an acai bowl. I think it's called an acai bowl. It was really lovely. It was sort of frozen berries with acai made into almost like an ice cream scoops, and then with muesli and fruit and stuff around it. Delicious. Probably had more sugar than I would have liked in the acai or whatever. It was quite sweet. But yes, lovely, fabulous. And like you say, a bit inspired, going through, having a look at Ponsonby, really feeling it was really good to get into the energy of abundance in Auckland again. You know, sitting out in the rural parts of New Zealand, even though statistically, apparently, the rural New Zealand is doing better, and obviously that filters through into the economy. The actual, a lot of the people who actually live in the rural areas are not doing that well financially. It's just the farmers that are doing better. And that has yet to filter out into the rural communities. And it was quite nice to just hang out in Ponsonby, very bougie, all these people walking around in their fancy, you know, handbags and stuff like that. It's always great to see. A little bit plastic, but you know, if it floats your boat, that's fine. I also love pretty beautiful things, so who am I to judge? And walked past a beautiful flower shop, which was so stunning. It was just such a feast for the eyes to see all these gorgeous flowers available. And yeah, was so tempted to buy some flowers up there. I just love flowers. I absolutely adore them. I bought, on the way back from the airport yesterday, I popped into the Bee Wellness studio in Napier to just discuss some dates with Claire Babbage. And there was a shop that had the most beautiful flowers, so I had to buy those. And then popped into a nursery on the way home as well and bought some more little plants, which I'm going to pot up and put on our patio, because I just love potted live flowers rather than, you know, I always feel so bad cutting the flowers from my garden. And so on the patio, always on my patio table, I always put live pots of flowers, and they do really well on the patio because they're a bit covered and sheltered. So yes, oh yes, what I did want to talk about is I ordered this a while back. I think it's quite an old Oracle deck. But I've really wanted to get it because I want to learn a little bit more about the different energies, because these divine masters that Carl Gray is talking about, you know, there's so many of them, and it's always good just to brush up and learn a bit more. So I'm on a bit of a mission to brush up. And the first card that I drew from this gorgeous deck is called the Blue Beings Light Transmission. Wounds healed, important information charging up. And it was really interesting, very pertinent information. So there are many names for these beings, such as extraterrestrials, star people, star answers, sky people, and more. Whatever they're called, they are divinely inspired, evolved beings existing in dimensions that we can't even comprehend. These dimensions are alternate realities, and so far in the future that these bright ones see beyond anything that troubles us now. These overseers of the cosmos are like angels in the sense that they are expressions of the divine fully connected to the heart of source. So he goes on to say that they're not defined as specific energies. So it says star beings exist in multiple forms, and in this case appear as blue beings. I just want to have a sip of my cacao. I got these gorgeous mugs the other day, right here in Waipawa at the little shop called, I think it's called Index. And I really enjoy sipping the cacao out of this. I was sipping it out of a metal mug, but I've kind of since realized I really want ceramic mug. The metal to me is just not feeling that good. The other thing that I did buy, I'm sorry, I'm going off track. The other thing I ordered in the post and it arrived just before I went to Auckland was a copper water bottle. And so that was really fabulous to drink out of, although the mouth is quite wide and I dropped water all over my chest when I was walking down Ponsonby, as you do. And yes, so luckily it was water and it dried quite quickly because Auckland was just as warm. Okay, so the star beings exist in multiple forms and in this case appear as blue beings. They are here to transport you energetically to their healing sanctuaries so that you can be whole and healed. They come in peace, radiating the highest light and frequencies that can assist you on all levels of healing. They work on a quantum level, and thus when their healing touches your life, the root cause of any dis-ease is illuminated and completely healed. I really want to touch on this because as you know, I've been called to take my Pleiadian stardust painting out to healing or offer it in healing sessions and do these guided guided meditations connecting into the Pleiadian energy. And I have no doubt that these blue beings would be part of the Pleiadian healing assisted energies that come in when you connect in. And it's really been it's highlighting to me more and more how much we are in need of these higher frequency light codes, which we need the stillness to connect into. So if the world feels overwhelming or intense, know that hands of light are upon you. Take a moment to retreat to a safe space to cleanse and recharge your energy. And this is becoming more and more apparent to me that there are many, many, many people who are not cleansing, who are not taking the time to slow down, who are not connecting into this beautiful, available, cleansing, clearing, high frequency energy that is available to us. And that is kind of what my mission is for at least next year. I want to facilitate group healings for people to be have access to clearing energy, as well as meditative guiding learning how to self-guide and self-clear and self-cleanse and access into this higher frequency energy. So, and this was a message for me as well, saying don't feel guilty about it. So it says, take a moment to retreat to a safe space to cleanse and recharge your energy. Don't feel guilty about it. You don't need to be constantly in the limelight or in service of others. And this goes to the light workers out there that kind of feel like we need to sort of be on all the time and helping all the time. And there's so many light workers that I'm seeing that are starting to kind of lose their brightness, their vivaciousness. They're tired. And it is really, really so important for us to, as it says here, this is not a time to sacrifice your own well-being in order to serve others. And I have definitely had a bit of a restock and a retake around what do I really want to do going forward, and how do I want to serve, and what is going to be the best way for me and my body to serve, because I really felt the energies coming through with that 3-eye atlas energy that was coming through the sun. Huge energies. Last night, full moon, huge energies. And just being very aware of my energy and what I want to try and achieve with my lifetime, in this lifetime, and how I want to enjoy my time here on earth, because it goes like this. So take the time to recharge, observe, and review how you feel. Really, I've always used October time as a re-looking. For me, October was always like a bit of the restart for the new year. I don't know why. I've never felt that December was the beginning of the new year. October was always the time when I had a rethink about where I want to go, where I want to be, and there'll be some explanation around that, but definitely had a rethink. Definitely rethinking the studio, the open days, and how I sort of want to be of service, but actually need to be of service to myself and to honor my calling of being an artist, rather than being open and sort of being more accessible. So being more aware of when I'm available and when I'm not. So I think going forward, I think I will be opening the studio by appointment. I'm here most days, every day, in the studio anyway. So what I might do is put the open flag when I'm in the studio, put it outside but not on the road. And if somebody drives past and they want to, they can stop at the gate, text me or hoot. But it is open by appointment, and I'll have a sign on the gate maybe for that. So it says here, this is a deep healing time for me. And you may have, and I think for us as a collective as well, I think we're absorbing a lot of light codes at the moment, and we're taking a bit of strain. You may have been on this path for a long time and experienced miraculous and healing moments, but now you are going deeper. And I definitely feel that all of us are being called to go deeper. And this is about healing from the inside out. Be open to learning new information and gaining insights about your life that will bring you a deeper state of wholeness and connection with yourself. Cosmic beings are surrounding you now and are leading the way on your ever unfolding journey. So I'm very excited to know or to get to know the new beings, and hence these divine masters that this card has, this oracle deck has really awakened within me, connecting into different energies that I may or may not be assimilated into, because I mean it is like a radio frequency, tuning into these different frequencies. And yeah, and the newer way, I've also really excited about a new book that I bought. It's a recipe book, a plant-based recipe book by a fabulous chef called Gaz Oakley. And I love his Instagram page. It's very inspiring. He's very down to earth. He's moved to the Welsh countryside, and he's obviously a top chef, and was getting to the point of burnout, and then decided to, I think during COVID, backed completely away from the chef world, and decided to kind of opt out. And by opting out has kind of almost revived his sort of mission, as it were. And his plant-based book is so inspiring. I decided to treat myself. So like I said, I've been a little bit of a sort of spending bender as well, because going to Auckland and, you know, doing this and ordering these books and this and that and the next thing. But I always feel like October for me, October, November is my my Christmas time. So yeah, and really interesting, on the bottom of the deck is Commander Ashtar. Now I know that Diana Cooper's got quite a good close relationship with Commander Ashtar. Leadership activation, time to evolve, trust in your ability to guide others. And I think a lot of us light workers are being asked to step up and to share our truths and talk in a natural way. There's so much AI out there. There's so much AI generated stuff. There is so much forced stuff out there that, you know, you've got to do this and this is what's happening and it's a shock in here, and you know, all the headlines of fear and shock and, you know, whatever. I've even noticed some of the people that I used to follow that I really trusted have succumbed to those big shocking headlines on their excuse me, YouTube video sort of headlines. Fair enough, but excuse me, I am not one of them. This is me, this is my authentic who I am, and I really believe that in time, the authentic ones who are just who they are, there'll be such a craving for that. Especially art and artists. I think with everything being created in such a slick manner, that real art and real authentic creation is going to become quite sought after, which is about bloody time. Right, so Commander Ashtar, what a beautiful, beautiful picture as well. This Jennifer Hawkyard, she's a really great feeling in her art, and I love the picture of the third eye here. Oh, and I also forgot, when I was in the concert in the town hall, I was called, the dragons were around me, and I asked, is there any clearing necessary? And this was a really interesting thing. Because I said, do I need to clear the hall? And they said, yes, you can ask the dragons to clear the hall. Because I always ask my guides, can I have permission to clear it? Is it necessary? And I didn't feel that the energy in the hall was that stagnated. And I asked them why. And they said, oh, the music does a really good job of clearing the energies, which I thought was fabulous. But they did ask me to get the earth dragon and the fire dragon into the ground underneath the town hall of Auckland to clear the energy in the underneath the buildings, because obviously it's an old building. I think it's one of the older buildings in Auckland, 19th century, beginning 19th century, I think. And certainly, you know, I always understand that whenever I go somewhere, because the dragons can only do something when they're being asked to do it, they will pop into my awareness, and I will ask, what do you want me to ask you to do? Or I'll ask my guides, you know, I get clear cognizance around it. And so yes, the dragons were called in to clear the bottom underneath the town hall, that ground underneath the town hall, and everything associated with that. And the fire dragon was asked to go in, clear it, and then rehabilitate all that energy that was released from that, which will be a substantial amount of energy. I mean, going well over a century amount of time. So yes, so wherever I go, you know, there are things that'll pop in, and the dragons are always with me. I mean, when we were flying, when we flew out, it was a bit bumpy, and all I do is I just ask my dragons to clear the path in front of us, and guide the pilots' hands and minds and be with them. And I always ask my angelic team to come in too. So I'm always working with my guides and with the dragon energies and with the angelic energy and whoever, you know, pops into my awareness. And so it was really interesting. My husband booked a hotel, which is a very, it says it's like a yoga hotel. So there was a yoga mat, a token, and I'm going to say token because, yeah, a token yoga mat in the room, and quite a peaceful room, done in sort of like a soft green, bluey kind of color. And I said to him, oh, gee whiz, this is actually quite relaxing. It's quite a relaxing kind of color. And ironically, he turned around and said, well, I think it looks like a hospital room. It reminds me of a hospital room. So, you know, everybody's different and how they perceive stuff. So, that being said, it was quite a comfortable, room. And, but it had no art in it. And I was reminded again that my art pieces would go beautifully, just some prints in the hotel rooms. And so part of my list to do is to try and see if I can find the interior designer, the person who's in charge of the interior design of that hotel, and approach them, because I think having wellness art that emits a beautiful vibrational energy for people who are going to relax in a hotel is so much better than having just an ordinary piece of art. I think if you're going to be a wellness and you're going to perpetuate that idea of a wellness retreat type hotel, then I think the artwork needs to be very carefully curated. And I was thinking, wow, to have Ganesha, my Galactic Ganesha, or the Hathor painting, or one of the, the Pleiadian one, or the Divine Feminine, or the Lemurian, one of those paintings up in each bedroom or each hotel room would be fantabulous. So it's kind of part of me, that's part of my bucket list next year. It's always been on my wish list to do a hotel and have my art within a hotel. And so I think, if they had maybe one or two original pieces in the entrance foyer or somewhere, and then obviously prints throughout the hotel, I kind of go, my life's wish would actually be, that would be a pretty big tick on my bucket list. So yes, if you know of any hotels that are looking for art and want healing art send me a DM, please. I'd be really chuffed to work with interior designers or somebody like that, to get the art up and emitting its light codes to more people, through that medium. So yes, and I found the most amazing art printer in Napier. So I'm very excited to start sharing the art prints that are now available through my website. So you can have a look. And I've also connected in with a new framer, an online framer. So I can connect you into them and you can order your frame. It's custom made. It comes straight through you. They're actually based here in I think it's Central Hawke's Bay. And I know it's in Hawke's Bay. I'm just not sure if it's Central Hawke's Bay, but they're based in Hawke's Bay. They work from home. A really interesting couple who have got great printers, and so yes, I'm excited to do some work for them, with them, and I will be starting to supply my prints at fairs. And like I said, the Waipukurau fair that's coming up, I will be there. I might probably have 1 or 2 of my artworks with me. I haven't decided which artworks are going with, which ones are called for on the day. Probably Ganesha one will definitely be going, because he'll be doing a whole bunch of clearing as he's standing there in that energy of an art fair, a fair. So this has been quite a long chat today. Yeah, just chatting with what's on my mind, what's happening, and as always, enjoy this beautiful weather we're having. I hope wherever you are, you're having awesome weather. I know Central Hawke's Bay is a hot one today. I think we're going to reach 27 degrees. I'm even wearing a cutoff because holy moly, it is quite warm. And yeah, very excited to have the hot weather again with very little wind, which is awesome. Okay, I will chat to you soon, and I will see you again in the next video or the next Friday Musings. If you love this video and you want to keep in touch, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Send me a comment, send me a DM. I love to hear from you all, and I will chat to you soon.